Hi Gok, well thank you so much for joining me this morning. I really appreciate you taking the time.
Not a problem, you're welcome.
I've really enjoyed looking at your shows and just seeing the transformation that you're making in women's lives. It's an amazing, amazing thing.
Thank you.
It's not just about what's on the outside, it's about what's in the inside.
It's nothing to do with the outside. It's all in the slightest. It's all to do with the psychology of how women dress.
That's right, and how that comes out on the outside for them is just showing their inner spirit and the passion that they have for life.
Absolutely.
So one of the questions that I had for you was, how important is it to you, the concept of age-appropriate dressing?
Oh, not at all, nothing.
Where do you find that can actually scare women into not experimenting?
I don't think there is anything as ridiculous as age-appropriate dressing. You know, people over the age of 45, 50 probably have raised children, partly paid off their mortgages, worked really hard for a living. They should be celebrating their femininity and their sexuality. And a lot of that, of course, is how we decorate ourselves. It's our clothes, it's our hair, it's our makeup. Then for a load of people to turn around and say, now you're not allowed to, for me, it's the biggest travesty out there. And so as far as I'm concerned, if you are in your 80s and you want to rock a pair of heels and a mini skirt, then go for it, enjoy it, and be a woman.
Vivienne Westwood can pull it off.
Exactly,
it's a fantastic
exactly,
example for the rest
exactly.
of us. So when it comes to actually, you know, all the new shapewear and these sorts of things that are experiencing a resurgence in the last few years, a lot of women only see that as something for special occasions. What's your thoughts on shapewear being worn just for everyday, good architecture for the body?
Well, you know, a good line. I like that, architecture for the body. Well, actually, I produce a line of my own underwear we've been doing it for about 4 years. And what I've done is I've taken inspiration from the 40s and 50s. So it was when the underwear was seen as a garment to give you the curves and give you the small waist and lift your bust and all that kind of stuff. But at the same time, it was to be on show as well. So it would be none of that running away, you take your clothes off and you look like a sausage skin. It was none of that.
No Bridget Jones moment.
Exactly. So we produced this underwear that looks like really good, vintage, beautiful, decades gone by underwear. And so I think it should be worn every day. Obviously, it depends on the climate. Australia has such extreme climates, as we know. So, you know, it's probably unpractical, you know, in the middle of the summer. However, I think that women should be wearing it, and you know, things like an underwire bra, for instance, it's still shapewear. Without that, without that, you're probably going to get stretch marks and all that kind of stuff. So
Exactly.
I do recommend it for every day.
Yeah. And when it comes to looking at things like the corsets and these types of things that of the 40s and 50s that really gave this strong shape, this is something that people are really starting to experiment with, given the rise of the burlesque fashion, the retro fashion, all these sorts of things. Is that something that you can actually see women doing every day in the future, or do you think that's something that we're
I think it's up to every woman, really. I mean, you know, it depends entirely on who you are and what is your life. The problem that we've got in the fashion industry, that if we start becoming dictators and saying you have to look a certain way every single day, then we become as bad as all those other people in years gone by telling women that they weren't good enough. And so I'm all about women embracing what they need to do for their life. So if they need to have 3 different types of wardrobe, one for the kids, one for themselves, and one for going out, then that's absolutely fine. If they want to dress up like you are looking gorgeous right now every single day, then of course, if you've got the time to do it, then go for it.
And looking at all the modern fabrics, this is something that has become really quite an enemy of style, how much spandex is involved now, that people just aren't used to wearing clothes that fit them. What are your thoughts on people and the fit of clothes? How important is that to style?
Well, for me, the silhouette is really important, and so all of my styling is quite sexy. It's quite, I suppose, in a weird way, most of my inspiration does come from the 50s, and I think you can see that in the work that I do. And it is about showing off that silhouette, but at the same time, it's also about showing women they have different silhouettes depending on what they wear. So I think there is room for Ponte Roma fabric, there is room for silk, there is room for cotton, there's room for corsetry. It's all in there because you don't have to look like you've got the same silhouette every single day. You can change that around.